Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we share the most dramatic, jaw-dropping, and unbelievable stories from Reddit every single day. Today we've got 5 incredible stories lined up for you. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for all of them because they just keep getting crazier. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a story. Now, let's get into it. Story number 1, aita for refusing to give my sister my wedding venue? So I, 28F, have been engaged for about a year now. My fiancé and I saved up for 2 years to book our dream wedding venue, a beautiful vineyard that we both fell in love with the moment we saw it. We put down a massive deposit and have been planning everything around this location. Here's where things get complicated. My sister, 32F, just got engaged last month. She's always been the golden child in our family, and my parents have always favored her. When she found out about my venue, she absolutely lost it. She said it was her dream venue too, and that she's the older sister, so she should get married there first. I told her that's not how it works. I booked it, I paid for it, and my wedding is in 6 months. Her wedding isn't even planned yet. She went crying to our parents, and now they're both calling me selfish. My mom actually said I should be the bigger person and let my sister have the venue since she's older and deserves to get married first. They want me to either postpone my wedding by a year or find a different venue entirely. My fiancé is furious. We've already sent save the dates, my dress is ordered, and we'd lose our deposit, which was over $10,000. Not to mention all the emotional investment we've put into planning. My sister called me yesterday crying, saying I'm ruining her engagement and that a real sister would want her to be happy. She said I'm being petty and that the venue doesn't even suit my aesthetic anyway, whatever that means. My dad texted me this morning saying if I don't give up the venue, they might not come to my wedding at all. I'm honestly devastated. I never thought my family would put me in this position. My fiancé says we should just elope and cut them all off, but I always dreamed of having my family at my wedding. So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to give my sister my wedding venue? Alright, moving on to our next story. Story number 2, I found out my best friend has been living a double life for 3 years. I honestly don't even know where to start with this. I'm still shaking as I type this. My best friend of 15 years, let's call her Emma, has been lying to everyone about literally everything. So Emma and I met in middle school and have been inseparable ever since. She was my maid of honor, I'm the godmother to her daughter, we talk every single day. Or at least I thought I knew her. Last week, I ran into a woman at the grocery store who looked at me weird and asked if I was the friend. I had no idea what she was talking about. She introduced herself as Emma's other best friend from her work life. Confused, I asked what she meant. Turns out, Emma has been telling everyone at her job that she's single with no kids. She apparently has this whole other friend group, goes out partying every weekend, and has been dating multiple guys. She told them her family died in a car accident. Yes, her family that is very much alive. But here's the worst part. This woman showed me Emma's other Instagram account, the one she keeps hidden from us. It's full of pictures from trips she told us she was taking for work conferences. She was actually on vacations with her work friends and these random guys. I confronted Emma yesterday. She broke down crying and admitted everything. She said she felt trapped in her real life and needed an escape. She begged me not to tell her husband. Her husband. My other close friend. The guy who thinks his wife is working late every Friday when she's actually at clubs. I told her she has 1 week to tell him herself or I will. She called me a terrible friend and said I'm destroying her family. But I'm sorry, she destroyed her own family. Her daughter is 4 years old and her husband adores her. Am I wrong for giving her an ultimatum? Part of me feels like this isn't my business to tell, but I can't look her husband in the eye knowing what I know. My other friends are split on what I should do. I never thought the person I trusted most in the world could be capable of this kind of deception. 15 years of friendship and I feel like I never knew her at all. Alright, moving on to our next story. Story number 3, I got my entitled coworker fired after she tried to steal my promotion. This happened over the course of about 6 months, and I finally feel ready to share the whole story. I work in marketing at a mid-sized company. About 2 years ago, a new hire joined our team. Let's call her Karen because honestly, she earned that name. From day one, Karen acted like she owned the place despite having zero experience in our industry. Karen quickly figured out that our boss wasn't very tech-savvy. She started taking credit for other people's work during meetings, knowing he wouldn't check the file histories or email chains. Small stuff at first, she'd present someone else's ideas as her own, or forget to mention who actually created a successful campaign. When it happened to me the first time, I brushed it off. Second time, I started documenting everything. Every email, every file with timestamps, every team's message. I created a folder on my personal drive and backed everything up. 6 months ago, our department head announced he was retiring and they'd be promoting someone to his position. Karen went into overdrive. She started scheduling meetings with upper management, trash-talking everyone on the team, and most importantly, she tried to claim MY's biggest project as her own. This was a campaign I'd spent 3 months developing. I'd worked nights and weekends on it. When I presented it to the team, Karen actually interrupted me and said, "I think what Sarah is trying to explain is the concept I originally developed and asked her to help execute." I saw red. But I stayed calm. The next day, I requested a meeting with HR and our regional director. I brought my documentation folder, printed emails, file metadata showing creation dates and authors, screenshots of Teams conversations, everything. 300 pages of evidence. Turns out, Karen had also been lying on her expense reports and had faked some of her credentials on her resume. My documentation gave them a reason to dig deeper. She was fired 2 weeks later. I got the promotion last month. Don't mess with someone who knows how to create a paper trail. This next story is something else. Story number 4, my mother-in-law tried to redecorate my house while I was at work. I have been married to my husband for 3 years. His mother has always been, a lot. But what happened last Tuesday took things to a whole new level. My mother-in-law has a key to our house for emergencies only. We made that very clear when we gave it to her. Emergency. Only. I came home from work last Tuesday to find my living room completely rearranged. And I don't mean she moved a chair. I mean she had hired people to come in and move furniture, take down my artwork, and replace my curtains with ones she bought. She was still there when I walked in, directing 2 guys who were hanging up a massive painting of a landscape that I have never seen before. My stuff, my grandmother's painting, my photos, my carefully chosen decor, was piled in the corner like garbage. I completely lost it. I asked her what she was doing in my house. She smiled and said she wanted to surprise me with a much-needed makeover because my decorating was a bit sad. I told the workers to stop and leave immediately. My mother-in-law started crying and said I was being ungrateful and that she spent $2,000 on this surprise. She said my house was embarrassing and she couldn't invite her friends over because of how it looked. I reminded her that it's not her house to invite people to. She called my husband at work, hysterical. He came home and I fully expected him to take her side like he usually does. But this time, he saw the pile of my grandmother's things in the corner and lost it on her too. He demanded she return the key. She refused, saying she needs it in case something happens. He said something did happen, she violated our home. She called us both ungrateful children and left. Now she's telling everyone in the family that I screamed at her and made her cry after she spent thousands trying to help us. His aunts and cousins are blowing up our phones calling me disrespectful. But she literally broke into my house and threw away my dead grandmother's painting. Am I supposed to be grateful for that? My husband is on my side, but I can tell the family pressure is getting to him. I don't know what to do. Alright, buckle up for this next one. Story number 5. I refused to split my inheritance with my siblings who abandoned our dad. My dad passed away 3 months ago after a long battle with cancer. The last 5 years of his life were rough, and I was the only one of his 4 children who was there for him. Let me give you some background. I'm the youngest of 4. My older siblings, let's call them Mike, Janet, and Tom, all moved far away and basically cut contact with our dad about 10 years ago. They had various excuses. Mike said dad was too negative. Janet claimed she was too busy with her career. Tom just stopped calling one day and never explained why. When dad got diagnosed, I was the one who moved back home to take care of him. I put my career on hold, used my savings to help with medical bills the insurance didn't cover, and spent 5 years watching my father slowly decline. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. My siblings? Mike visited once, for 2 hours, 3 years ago. Janet sent a card. Tom didn't even do that. Dad knew what was happening. A year before he died, he changed his will. He left everything to me, the house, his savings, everything. It wasn't a fortune, but it was substantial. Probably around $400,000 total. When my siblings found out they weren't in the will, they lost their minds. They're threatening to contest it. They're calling me a manipulator who poisoned dad against them. Janet actually said I took advantage of a dying man. I spent 5 years of my life caring for our father while they couldn't even make a phone call. I wiped his tears when he cried about his other children abandoning him. I held his hand when he took his last breath. And now they want me to split the inheritance 4 ways because that's what's fair? Tom sent me a long message about how he deserves his share because he's dad's son. I reminded him that being someone's son means more than just sharing DNA. He called me heartless. My mom, who divorced dad years ago, is even getting involved saying I should keep the peace and share. But why should I? They didn't earn any of it. Am I wrong for keeping what my dad specifically wanted me to have? And that wraps up today's stories. Which one was your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. I read every single comment and I love hearing your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, it really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.